So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. iOS 27 versus iOS 26 speed test rematch. Let's go ahead and begin with a boot up in 3, 2, go. And you might notice that it's the 17 Pro versus the 17 Pro. I heard your guys' feedback in the previous video saying it was unfair to use the A17 or the iPhone 17. And I use that phone because I don't have two Pros. This one's actually my wife. She's borrowing this, so shout outs to her for borrowing this one. But I use it also because I thought those chips were pretty close, so we would actually see those 30% improvements either way. But you're going to see here that the same story as the 17, iOS 27 Beta 1, Dev Beta 1 in this video, boots up faster than that of iOS 26, an official version on an official iPhone 17 Pro. Right here, we got the cosmic orange and the silver. By the way, which color of those two do you like more? Now, what I want to do is kind of just get into both of these phones real quick. Sometimes when you first get in, they kind of are like getting things ready and they can stutter a bit. So let's go ahead and just kind of swipe through. And you can see 27 right there kind of responded a little bit weird to my swipe actions, but not a big issue whatsoever. They both tend to boot in pretty good. Navigating the home screens, I will say that the beta runs really well for a very first beta. And one of these actions I'm noticing is faster is this action. Most of the time when you're swiping to the app library, I would sometimes get little lags going into here on 26. Not the case on iOS 27. Also, when we go ahead and swipe through here, sometimes you'll see like these things taking a while to populate. They're faster now on 27 to populate these sections. So going through here, once it loads up, it's fine. But sometimes you would see like those little developer icon, shadows of like these applications over here. On this side though, very fast. So that's good. Another area, when we go ahead and swipe down, that actually looks smoother on the 27 right now. When you swipe through here, 26 just looks like absolutely lag fest over here in adding a control. I don't know why this always looked like this, but it did. They kind of fixed that here finally. And you'll see as we swipe through, it's very smooth now to swipe through there. Now we go ahead and add different pages. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll kind of like customize the pages. That also seems to pop up faster, just a little bit. So that's good. And you'll just see a lot of transitions throughout the OS just look a little bit better. So I gotta say, just kind of navigating these things day to day, you will be very impressed with Dev Beta 1 for iOS 27. You also see the new Siri on here. And over here, you'll see the older Siri, which I'm starting to refer to. Hold on. I'm starting to refer to as the not so smart Siri because that Siri, the old one, just doesn't do anything near what the new one does. So that was a great enhancement to the iPhone. Android phones have basically had that Gemini integration for over a year already. So that's really nothing for Android users, but for iOS users is a big deal. Okay guys, so everything is closed out on both phones. Let's go ahead and begin with calendar. And you could see not a substantial difference there. Let's go ahead and swipe out. We'll go into clock. We'll go into stopwatch, timers, world clock. Swipe out of there. We'll go into calculator on both. Pretty much the same. I don't see a huge difference in basic apps. What I am seeing is daily performance, kind of like going through the OS, and we're in dark mode over here. Let's get this off. Going through the OS, the 27 just feels like it's just snappier throughout the OS day to day. Let's go into weather. You'll see that launch first. We do have these new precipitation conditions, wind. It's kind of like what they give you on the Apple Watch. I love this enhancement because for me, Apple weather is not always as accurate when you're just looking at the basic, weather. It doesn't always hit like perfectly. So seeing these different details gives us a better picture of what the weather is going to be. Let's go into ChatGPT and you'll see it launches first here on the right. We'll go into Gemini and you'll see not a big difference. Let's go into Copilot and we'll go into Groupon here. And you'll see launching just at about the same time. Again, both 12 gigs of RAM, both the A19 Pro chip. Let's go into X on both. And we'll just kind of swipe through here. And you'll see pretty good to go on both. What's really impressive though is that the iPhone 17 Pro on 27 Beta 1 is nearly as fast, if not more smooth than the official version of 26. And let's go to Apple News on both phones and you'll see a little bit faster on the right And we'll just go over here to News Plus. Let's click over here. Just swipe out right there. Let's go into Subway City and see what happens. Game modes on both. So pulling ahead there. Now, one of the things some people were mentioning in the comments, and this makes sense, was that the apps, it's too early for the apps to be updated for 27. And that is true. I mean, we're still in the developer conference week. So these apps are still much more developed for 26. So a lot of them will start to launch quicker still on 26. But the deal is that the 27, the actual iOS software definitely feels a lot smoother in terms of just kind of like throughout the OS. So that's where it's really strong. And I think as time goes on, those improvements will be more seen. So I'm not going to just stop here. We're going to do more speed tests down the line. I'm even going to do some speed tests to One UI 8.5, maybe One UI 9 as well, and Android 17 later on when it becomes officially available. Maybe we'll do beta comparisons because Android 17 beta will be pretty fun to look at against the iOS. Let's go into Free Fire. Let me know if you're interested in that down below. And we'll see right here, Free Fire is loading first on the left. So this time it goes to the 27. Looks like we're getting a download. I actually test these phones before making the video, and then I get in the video and they start doing a download. So it's not like I'm like not prepared, but we're gonna have to go ahead and run this again because this is now doing a random download, even though I did pre-test these right before making the video. Okay guys, so let's go into Free Fire again and we'll see what happens this time now that that download is not in the way. I'm expecting about the same load times, so you'll see right there. Now a lot of people look for bugs and issues when it comes to these, you know, betas, but I gotta tell you, they rocked this one out, launched this one pretty good. I haven't been seeing any substantial issues like just using the phone, and the thing was so entirely responsive. I accidentally tapped that. So let's go ahead and do Geekbench 6, but you'll see 4.26 gigs, 26.5.1, 11.4, so exactly the same. Let's go into InShot. And we'll go ahead and click here, cancel. And they launched those at about the same time as well. We'll do speed test and you'll see about the same. So overall, seeing very good performance on the new beta, keeping up easily with the 26. So I'm super excited about 27 as they continue to refine it. I love how they're going with a refinement polish here. We're seeing all these changes all the time, and iOS hasn't been super refined and polished in a little while. So I'm glad that this is the focus this year. That's why you didn't see a whole section in the WWDC conference on iOS purely. They were talking about the features mostly because I think what they're going to be doing is mostly polishing and refining the performance and adding those AI features. That's about it. And that's really all we needed this year. We already just had a rehaul with the liquid glass. So no need to fix that when we really need to fix the performance. So I'm excited about this. Let's do a RAM management test now. So we're going to start with 27, and they were saying in the conference that the apps will be the engineers found a way to kind of keep the apps preloaded faster, especially for older devices. And so that's good. But also just kind of having, you know, this performance in mind, I'm just super excited for the future of iPhone. The continuation of the software continuing to be updated over this period with the beta, plus coming out with official, and then the folds coming later with potentially 16 gigs of RAM on the next iPhones. We're looking at a powerhouse year for the iPhones when it comes to performance, and that is something that they definitely need if they want to be playing at the top of the game. That is definitely something they need. So let's go ahead and go through the 26 version and see if we see any differences. So far, 27 looking just like this on 26. We'll go through Subway Surf. It actually looks identical. So this is good. For those of you who want to do the download, want to try it out. Do keep in mind, though, you should do a backup. And also, if you do decide to go with beta, it's a little bit more of a process to get it off. But also, you could potentially run into bugs in future releases because beta 2, beta 3, sometimes they introduce things and things break and then they got to come back with performance on the next beta. So it's a roller coaster ride. But I think that this year it's looking pretty good so far. Let's go ahead and run a Geekbench test now. And so the final Geekbench 6 scores are in, and what do you know? The iOS 27 has won on the iPhone 17 Pro on the left. You'll see 3840 and 3752 on the right for 26.5.1 with a little bit of a boost on the multi-core. So like I said, it's been performing better and you've seen it there. We're going to go ahead and run a Wildlife Extreme 3D Mark benchmark test now on both of these, and I'll be back when they are done. And the final Wildlife Extreme scores are in, and you could see we also won here on 27 Beta 1 over here, 5006 versus 4960, 29.7, 30 FPS. We do score better than the same 89% of other devices, but 27 did do a better job here on the iPhone 17 Pro by a very minor margin. It's extremely small, but it's kind of impressive for a Dev Beta 1 that we're getting a little bit better performance. It's not the 30%, but I don't think 30% comes in the way of benchmarks. It probably comes more in the way of, you know, kind of like app launches, transition between pages, transition between different animations throughout the user interface. That's where it's going to feel faster. So I'm looking forward to further refinements. So let's run a browser benchmark, speedometer 3.0. We're going to go ahead and start this test on both and see which one actually can do a better job here. I don't think it's going to be that much better on either because they are the same performance, but it would be nice to see if 27 can do a better job here. And so we finished here with 40.5 on the right, and I don't know what's this. This wants me to run a different test. We'll just do this one more time. I don't know why that one stopped the test. So we'll be back and see if it can beat this guy right here. Okay, so another time we got a problem running the speedometer test. So I think the beta is causing issue here because this is the base, this is the official software. So we're not going to be able to get the final results there. But I want to leave this in here just to showcase that betas can mess with certain benchmarks, applications, stuff like that. Generally, the browsing is going to be pretty good here on the left, but it's just not going to be able to run every single app or benchmark properly at this current time. So we're going to move on to launching the cameras on both phones. So let me bring in the Max Boy over here for the camera sample, and we'll go ahead and launch both of these. Now, both of these are pretty warm, but pretty much the same heat. We're going to go ahead and hit camera. And I think that was 26. Let's go ahead and launch these again. 3, 2, go. And not a major disparity. What about if we go through these lenses? You'll see not huge differences. There is new difference here. You can now use the Siri in camera. You can ask about what images mean, you know, nutrition, event calendars. It's kind of like having a Google Lens, but Siri version right into your camera. That is a cool built-in feature where you don't have to download something separate. So this is very Apple-like to keep it very simple and like not have to download extra things. You know, in terms of putting it in the camera, they put it right here. The thing they still don't do is have an easy way to get to all the settings right in this area right here. They are adding more settings, but they don't give you like that direct settings button to go into the settings for the camera. So I would wish they would fix that there. Also, I noticed that when you turn this phone off, the power screen looks a little bit different. Somebody said that might be kind of hard to see in emergency. I don't think so because the SOS button is very vibrant and easy to see right there. But overall, wrapping it up, I think that we have our results here. 27 Beta 1 is performing very good. Even when you compare it to the same phone with like the same performance on 26, it's actually performing slightly better. So I am happy to say that this is going to probably be one of those years where running the beta is probably not going to be a big issue for you, especially as they further refine it. And I think we're looking forward to a very strong performing year for 18 Pro and Fold series. So be subscribed for iPhone season this year because it's going to be a very fun one to battle these performance claims against some of the latest Samsungs, the latest Pixels out there. So I want to see you there. So thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you found this video interesting, informing, you'll probably like this video as well. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Nick here. Be sure to be well and peace.